whole nother perspective after going through something like this, if we can get out of this.
Yeah, we've got to get out of here.
Welcome to another episode of the Epic Family Road Trip.
In last week's episode of the Epic Family Road Trip, we continued on our backcountry journey from the mountains of British Columbia to our cabin in Ontario, Canada. Along the way, we encountered a large obstacle blocking the trail ahead, an avalanche.
Oh man, the road's blocked.
After we successfully crossed the avalanche, we were back on the trail and on our way. A few kilometers up the trail, however, we were faced with another obstacle, a deep, slushy, snow-covered trail ahead. Our goal was to get up and over the mountain pass and down the other side to the town of Elkford, where we would restock our supplies and refuel our vehicles. For now, however, we had a good supply of food, water, recovery gear, satellite comms, auxiliary fuel tanks, and a great team. We were properly equipped and ready, so we decided to press on.
How does it look on the map? We're almost there?
No. Well, there's the town. Yeah, we're getting off a lot closer, but
I think at that corner, do we start going down? Let's just pretend.
we'll hope so. I'm just making I'm trying not to spin and just making tracks, but I'm curious to see how Vandy would do. I'm just gonna keep at it, and then the boys can come up behind.
Right after this mud thing, it gets really deep, and he got stuck on the corner a few times.
Come on.
That's it.
As long as we can get to one of those big trees, doesn't matter what we have under. Just save it for once we get to this point.
We're going about 3-4 feet at a time, but we're making it. Once we're over this hump, I hope we're gonna hit some downhill.
Oh my goodness, I can't feel my feet. I don't know how the boys are doing it. They've been going for about 6 hours now. Soaked. We thought we'd be in New Mexico and those places. We didn't bring winter boots.
Now we made it to a tree that's actually in our path, so That should help. I think we're good now. Hopefully I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. Try to stay on top of the snow as much as possible, so when the winch gets me going, I don't want to spin.
It gets a lot shallower here and a bit firmer, so it'll still be hard, but a bit easier.
Good.
From about the glacier till here, how many kilometers? About 5? It took us about 6 hours.
Yeah, 6 hours I think is what the GPS is saying. If it's like this the whole way to that town, then it'll be all day tomorrow too. It's an adventure. Good boy.
The rope's hot. Yeah.
You guys need a ride?
Get up here. Worsley is a bulldozer.
Yes! Almost there.
The other thing about this snow is it was packed down by snowmobiles all winter, so it's got a hard crust on top. Really soft, deep
Oh
underneath.
my word. That doesn't look that promising.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, there's gravel. I can see a lot more of that soon. Wow. Now we've got to get Vandy up there. It's not going to be easy either.
Looks like they have to winch Vandy now. Better go back and help. Somewhere is Max Tracks 2. So whoever comes up will get 2 Max Tracks. We've been digging, looking for probably the last hour, trying to find them. And no luck so far, unfortunately. Because we still have a long ways to go. Hopefully we'll keep looking for them.
Okay, so we got stuck again. We're probably just gonna set up for the night up here and hope that it's frozen in the morning. That the snow is a lot more frozen and we can drive on top of it, because it's been warming up all day and we're just sinking through. So we'll probably pack up and get out early if we can. We still got a little ways to go, but we'll be okay. It's probably a chilly night up here on top of the mountain, but anyway, it's one of those situations. We got into some snow and we thought it's either go back or keep going. It should get better going forward. We were in gravel roads for the longest part of the day, and then all of a sudden we got into this stuff. So at this point we have to keep going forward. There's no backtracking, so we'll do our best, and that's all we can do.
Quickly as well.
My big camera is charged.
Ourselves into some snow. Pete's shooting our GPS coordinates using the Garmin to my brother Seth and my brother Ben, just so they know where we are and have an exact location. And tomorrow, I'm sure we'll be fine getting out of here, but you know, it's always best to have people know where you're being able to follow along. So if we had to text and say, you know, we need help getting out of here, they'd know exactly where we are. So for all you overlanders out there, never leave home without a Spot or a Garmin that can do two-way communication by satellite, because there's no cell service anywhere near here. And that's just an added layer of safety if you get in a situation. And we'll talk about all the other stuff you need to pack so that you can stay up here as long as you need to.
Oh.
Alright, it is May 2nd. We had a good night's sleep here, stuck in the snow. GPS guy says we're about 20 kilometers from the town, and we're hoping it's not 20 kilometers of what we went through yesterday. But right now we are stuck. So step one is we're going to have to get ourselves unstuck and then test going forward. Hopefully things get shallower and then we start getting into lower elevation and get back onto dirt roads. So that's, I think, what we're going to do, because going back is going to be a big job. So that's what we're up against right now. But right now we are stuck in the wilderness, and thankfully we have our Garmin, and my brothers know my coordinates where we are, so we're not too worried about that. But yeah, we've got to get out of here.
That's like rock solid in the front.
Can you reverse?
Watch your coffee.
So it begins.
There she is. Oh no, tell me.
Oh.
We should just go right down to 8. Like last time, just keep pushing.
I'm just going to do small runs. Good.
Look, that's my sock. Not much of winter boots. Can't feel my feet. All right, so at this point, we're kind of just moving literally almost just foot by foot. Thankfully, we've had like 2 sections where we can drive at least like 500 feet without having to pull out the winch. But just seems like every time we get on a downhill to flat and we're driving fine, we get to another uphill spot where we always get stuck. So we're just gonna be winching out of this uphill and hopefully we make it down. It's at least like 6 kilometers to what looks like a turn to start heading down out of this mountain pass. But, and we're hoping at that point the snow is less. Like when we were coming in, there was patches of snow, but it was a lot less because you're lower altitude, but we're just gonna see. It's just a little bit of an uphill, just a dumb little hill that we have to go over and then it goes down again.
Did you say dumb?
Mm-hmm.
CrossFit.
Center track, pulling the entire Jeep. We got about 19 kilometers left and we're going about 3 kilometers an hour. So you can imagine It's gonna take a while, especially if we hit some more deep stuff and have to keep winching.
So this is long and slow. My goodness, this is probably what Shackleton and Worsley felt like, just navigating and just inching their way out of the snow and the ice packs. But my goodness, I almost feel emotional just watching the kids work so hard to get out, and our equipment and everything. I surely look at Overland in a whole nother perspective after going through something like this. If we can get out of this, it will hold our heads up high, and a lot of teamwork, that's for sure.
So the reason why we were doing all this is the winch on Worsley last night in the dark, when someone was winding it in, they weren't feeding it from side to side so it fed properly. It rolled up properly, so it all bundled up into one spot. It kind of cinched itself so tight as it got to the end, so we couldn't pull it out and free spool, or even when it was engaged. So what we did was we attached to a big stump, and we attached Vandy to pull Worsley out, and just kept backing up until it popped it out of the being cinched, and then could start free spooling again, where we can attach it to a tree. So it worked. It was good. Undo the yellow then.
Basically go 3 feet, back up, do it all over again. There, we got about a foot. Should have taken some gravel.
Partway through the second day of digging and winching our way down the snow-covered trails, we were so exhausted that our cameras had to take a back seat. In the end, we got stuck many more times than we filmed, including digging out all the packed snow from under one of the Jeeps for over an hour in one spot. Eventually, though, we made it to the top of an incline that we had been crawling up for nearly 2 hours.
How'd you get so stuck?
I don't know.
At the top, there was a break in the snow revealing the dirt road beneath. Seeing gravel for the first time in 2 days gave us a glimmer of hope, and we decided to cross this area and set up camp for the night in the hopes that the snow conditions in the morning would be more favorable.
We gotta move the winch one more time. He just wants help crossing, and then we'll do it that way. Taking it.
It's ice underneath, it's fine.
Let yourself fall down it. Watch out. You just gotta make her run on it because you can't turn now. Yeah. Just get out of that spin spot. You're in gravel still.
The other side is where I feel like it's...
Maybe
Start
just
bumping it. Hold it. Way deeper on that side. This is how we were moving, so now we just get Vandy up here and tomorrow morning when it's cold. I was worried about falling on this.
You're all right. Alright, so we're setting up our second camp after a hard day's work. Got stuck a bunch of times, but we made some pretty good progress. It looks like it's downhill from here, but still super, super deep. But we're riding on top of the snow most of the time, so that's what we hope we'll do tomorrow. Right now I'm siphoning some gas out of our AEV fuel caddy and just topping up. And hopefully we have enough gas to get down to town. There's a town up ahead about, I don't know, 19 kilometers or less now because we've come a ways today, and we'll be able to get fuel there. Worst case scenario, if we ever ran out here, we have our Garmin. We could email my brother who could call somebody to snowmobile it up to us, but I don't think it'll come to that.
Good.
Good morning. It is May 3rd. We're still stuck up here in the woods, making a little bit of headway each day. Not much right now. Just got up. Rain here. Thankfully we came down a bit of elevation, so we have rain instead of snow, but as you can see, it is still very, very deep. We are gonna use the fuel we have and keep plugging away today. Anyway, not the best situation, I'll tell you that, but we're making the best of it.
Stay tuned for next week's episode as we begin our third day on the snowy backcountry trails in the mountains of British Columbia.
Like, we just did one of the most insane mistakes I've ever made on a trail. We've been struggling this is the third day now, pretty much 10 hours a day. Yeah, and we're low on gas. That's amazing. And in the meantime, we'll see you down the road.